This meeting of Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Tolles. Here. Councilman Williams is absent today, and our meeting is being chaired by President Pro Tem Councilman Cannon. Councilman Worthy.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Billingsley.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We do have a quorum present, and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Brian Harbison to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the blessings of life. We thank you for your blessings on Gadsden. We just pray that, God, everything we do here today will bring glory to your Son, Jesus. God, as we look forward to the next few days and celebrating Veterans Day, we thank you for those who are present today in this audience who served their country and gave everything they had. And God, as we recognize here in a few days, those who have served their country nationally on this day, we just pray, God, that you would just bless each and every one as only you can do. Thank you for your blessings. Pray that you'll give us wisdom in the decisions we have to make today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Public Safety Committee meeting, the work session, and City Council meeting held on October 27th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payments of the accounts for the week of October 23rd through the 29th.
Second.
Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor. We have none today. Unfinished business. A is an ordinance amending City Code Chapter 10 regarding time period dogs or cats may be held at the Humane Society and managed care of fertile cats. This ordinance was tabled last week for 7 days. What is the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, I would recommend that we substitute .1 ordinance.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, are there any discussion on that before we take a vote?
I would like for our city attorney to elaborate a little bit on that.
The purpose of this amending ordinance is twofold. One is we're going to adopt a feral cat program where the Humane Society will start managing feral cat colonies, or these are wild cats that are out in our public. And what this will do is they will trap various animals in these colonies and neuter or spay them and reintroduce them into the colonies. And this is research which has been shown to reduce the instances of nuisances and to reduce the feral cat colonies in a humane manner. Secondly, we are amending our previous ordinance as far as stray animals go. Currently, we have a 7-day hold on stray animals, and this is going to be reducing the stray animals to a 5-day hold. So if your animal gets picked up by animal control, the Humane Society will hold that dog for 5 days before putting it up for adoption. Previously, it was 7. And also, we're going to exclude the feral cats from the 5-day hold.
Thank you.
Do we have any more discussion?
And the animals that's not 3 months old, they will be excluded also.
Any more? Okay, clerk, will you take the vote, please?
This is on the motion for substitution.
Yes.
Those in favor to substitute ordinance number 2015321.1, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries for the substitution.
Okay, now we need to make a motion for the ordinance
For adoption.
for adoption, please.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Okay, number 9, this is the time and place to, as advertised, to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 200 Lawler Circle in District 3. Ernest Johnson being the last known owners. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone opposed to it? Does anyone here wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case in January of 2013. Been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Are there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 708 Spring Street in District 3, the state of Alabama. Haney Mitchell, John Mitchell, and Mason Mitchell being the last known owners. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone here opposed? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our process in November of 2014. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve. We're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second. Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 801 Chestnut Street in District 5, the state of Alabama. Joe H. Huff being the last known owners. Anyone here would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone opposed? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, this case involves commercial property on Chestnut Street. We started our process in October of 2013. There have been no improvements, so there are no permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
I got a question. Brian, is that the cleaners? Is that the
Yeah.
cleaners?
Yes, sir.
What about the chemicals that they mentioned about that? Is that going to be taken care of?
If there's anything of that nature on the interior, we would, normal procedure would be to contact EMA,
You bet it.
test it.
It's probably going to be something.
What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 417 Bryan Street in District 6. Sue B. Braggs, James L. Moyer, and Carolyn S. Moyer being the last known owners. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? If you will, come to the podium, please, and give us your name and address. You have 5 minutes.
My name is Sue Bragg. My address, my personal address is 6360 Highway 431 North in Tallow. I have a picture of the house that is in question. It's 417 Bryan Street. May I show the picture? I have one here myself. I bought this house, and it's a brick house, and paid the tax in 2014. I've kept the maintenance up as best I could. I did have a little setback, though. My husband fell from a ladder about 10 foot tall and crushed his knee, and he hadn't been able to help me with this. But this year I did manage to close the windows. Now, I talked with Mr. Harbison about this, and he told me, and I didn't know this, that I was not supposed to board up the windows. But I can take the boarding down because I plan to start putting windows in next week. The house looks fairly good on the outside. Like I said, it's a brick house of good structure. The roof is only 5 years old. And I don't think it should be torn down because I could make it a decent place to live. And I take pride in the houses that I buy and rent out. And the people can tell you that rent from me that they have a very nice house. May I also say that, you know, in tearing down the house, I'm sure it costs the city money, but I can save the city that money by making a nice dwelling. If you give me 30 days, I'd like to paint the house and put the windows in. And I plan to do this starting next week, November the 10th. I already have James Betterton, a plumber, who has written a letter and stating that he will do the work. And Jerry Ponder, the electrician, I have a letter from him that has committed to do this work for me. But I will get it painted. I'll start on the painting next week. And after it's painted, it really will look like a nice house. Thank you very much.
Ms. Braggs, how long have you had this house?
I bought it in 2014 for taxes, and like I said, my husband, you know, had this accident, and I had a setback on it. Now, I've kept the maintenance up. I tried to cut the grass, and there was a period of time when I couldn't, you know, when it rained so much. But like I said, the first of this year, you know, I have, if you can see the picture, you can see that it looks pretty clean cut. Except for the boarding, and Mr. Harbison has told me that I need to take the boards down and put the windows in, and I'll do that next week.
Is this the house used to be a church there
No,
on Bryan
not
Street?
that I know of. It don't look like a church. No, it was a house, because I've scraped belongings of people, like old clothes and stuff, out of the house.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone here wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we're certainly not opposed to an owner stepping in and saving a house from demolition. I will give you the history of this case. We started it in November of 2013. As she mentioned, as you can tell in the pictures, the windows have been boarded up. There was a building permit taken out in June of 2014 for new windows and new doors. As far as I can tell, that work has not been done. We're asking today for a resolution to abate the nuisance. Thank you.
Ms. Braggs, what are your plans on the little building here that the side's falling in and the roof's falling in?
The roof is only 5 years old.
That's the one on that side. Is that the same house?
You know, I plan to repair anything that needs to be repaired. And like I said, the painting will be done next week, so it will be an eyesore to the community. But I will repair anything that's there, so it won't be an eyesore.
Looks like this does have a little building behind it, is that correct?
It does.
Okay, on the pictures here, what I see, that the roof's about off of it.
I probably will do another that little building.
Is it the same house?
Since this is in District 6, if I can have your word that within 30 days, this piece of property will be brought up to Mr. Harbison's specifications, within 30 days, I'm going to go ahead and ask for a 30-day on this one, if you'll promise me that you're going to get to work next week and it's going to be up. Because in 30 days, if it ain't, 30 days, if it ain't coming back, you just wasted your money.
Okay. Now, we're talking about
Whatever, you need to get with Mr. Harbison and make sure whatever he tells you needs to be done. I'm gonna ask for 30 days.
Second.
Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Our next is a public hearing order abatement of nuisance on property at number 2 Laura Road in District 6. J.K. Properties LLC and Jeff Edmondson being the last owners. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone opposed? Anyone who wishes to speak in favor?
I'm actually opposed, Mr. President. Based on recent improvements, we're asking this case be tabled for 30 days. Thank you.
Okay, what is the pleasure of the council?
Move to table for 30 days.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 2907 Shahan Avenue in District 6. The state of Alabama and the state of Johnny Medley being the last known owners. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone opposed to it? Does anyone here wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in January of 2012. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
Brian, I actually was down on that street last week. I think we've got like 5 on that street in that 2900 block. We had some activities down in there this past week, if you might could help us on some of that. The pleasure of the council is to abate the nuisance. Are there any discussion?
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
We did that one quick. 15 and 16, next public hearing, a resolution assessing nuisance abatement liens against property. This is for demolition, has already been performed. We have 2 locations. I'm going to read the addresses and names. Anyone who wishes to speak about any of these may come forward. 624 Spring Street in District 3, $3,764.92. State of Alabama and the state of Belinda Denny. The next one's 1517 Harrelson Avenue, District 5, $3,014.92. FNA NP LLC and Anita Blankenship Phillips and South Trust Bank. Are there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to any of these resolutions? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt both resolutions.
Second.
Are there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt both resolutions, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt both.
Number 17 is a public hearing, is a resolution approving issuance of an alcoholic beverage license to Steel Bar and Grill LLC has applied for a liquor retail license at 221 South 3rd Street. Is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone opposed? Or does anyone here wish to speak in favor? What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to adopt.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Number 18 is a resolution authorizing change order number 2 to bid number 3288 for the renovation to the Alabama City Public Library. This is replacement of bad wood in the amount of $648.86. The adjusted contract amount with Hudak Construction Company is $165,753.92. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Are there any discussion? I will add that we did have a ribbon cutting the other day at the old Alabama City Library. They did a really good job down there. The building looks perfect. We're just open for business down there. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
19, new business. Do we have any?
Yes, Mr. President, I have one. I ask for unanimous consent for the authorizing addendum to our video service contract with AT&T of Alabama.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I move for adoption.
Any discussion?
This is an agreement that we already have, but it's going to be an addition to the fact that we'll have more video services, and hopefully it will be something that will help us to increase our use of our television stations. So I move for this to be adopted.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Do we have any more further new business?
Yes, Mr. Acting President, I have one. Requested by Jay Watson. It's a resolution awarding bid number 3301 to Yamaha for 70 new two-seat golf carts. Asking for unanimous consent.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution under new business today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move for adoption.
Second.
You want to elaborate a little bit further on that?
Yes, sir, I will. This is for a lease for 4 years for 70 golf carts, and they are also, the NEAPA coordinator has recommended rejecting the beverage cart for budgeting purposes, and awarding bid number 3301 for leasing the 70 new two-seat golf carts to Yamaha. And it's for 4 years for the golf course.
Any more discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Do we have any more new business?
Yes, President, I have one. It's Resolution 527. It's a resolution authorizing change order number 1 to Bob Smith Construction, Inc. for replacement of deteriorated components and additional roofing material.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today under new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. President, this is for repairs to the Gilliland Reese Bridge at Nakalula Falls, the old West Gilliland Bridge, the covered bridge.
It will be, I think we talked about upstairs, we'll be ready by the lights on the falls, correct?
At Christmas
at the
time,
falls.
it'll be decorated and ready to go.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Any more new business? Department reports, committee boards, et cetera. Kay Moore?
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me come and talk with you today. I'm going to kind of go over a list of things that we have going and hit First Friday in there also. But, you know, tomorrow is the Patriots Luncheon at Convention Hall. The Gadsden Patriots Association has put that on. The doors will open at 11 o'clock, and it will be through promptly at 1 o'clock. Then we'll have the Veterans Parade downtown on Broad Street. They're going to start the parade at 7th Street, actually up toward Terminal. Broad Street and part of Forest Avenue will be closed beginning at 12:30. So then they'll start down the street, down Broad Street at 2 o'clock. About 1:45, the Memorial Bridge will be closed to traffic because the parade will go all the way to First Avenue and then turn south and head down First Street. So it's going to be a lot of street closures tomorrow, so I wanted people to be aware of that. But we are excited about the Veterans Parade coming back after a little bit of a recess, I suppose, but glad to have tourism and the people that have done a great job putting that together this year. So immediately after the parade, they will have the opening of the enduring legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen at the Gadsden Museum of Art. This is some beautiful artwork representing the Tuskegee Airmen, so they'll have the opening of that immediately when the parade is over tomorrow at the Museum of Art. So if you have not seen that, it is something to see, so we're excited about that. First Friday, we're having a Hoop It Up First Friday. Next life I want to come back, though, as the weatherman. I have watched this weather about a week to 10 days before First Friday. So last Saturday, there was 10% chance of rain. It jumped up to 80% Sunday, 90% yesterday. We're back down to 50% chance of rain today. So we always proceed as if it's not going to rain. But we have the Titan 10. We have 10 young people from Gadsden City High School, girls and guys, that are going to take on the downtown rebounders. So the mayor is going to be one of those, and I know we had a couple of council people that were going to do that, but y'all are going to be out of town, so we will miss you. But we do have some. It's just going to be fun. Now, it's not going to be a real scrimmage game, y'all. It's going to be like a game of horse. So, but it's going to be fun. So we hope you'll come out with that. To see that. The Andy Warhol exhibit at the Cultural Arts Center will be ending on November the 15th. If you haven't seen that exhibit, it's got a lot of fun too. So we'll have a good time. The stores will be open. Even if it rains, we continue on. The stores will be open, the restaurants will be open. We'll go ahead and close the streets so you can wander through the streets and do that. But we hope that it's not, we hope that we get the basketball game in, and I use that term loosely. But then next week we have Girls' Night Out downtown. We'll have some extra shopping from 5 to 9 o'clock on Thursday, November the 12th. Christmas Open House weekend will be the next weekend. It'll be Friday and Saturday, November 20th and 21st. We kick off before Thanksgiving actually happens. On Saturday we'll have Santa and the Clydesdale Horse pulling the wagon with Santa in it, and free rides for the families, kids, adults, anybody, from 12:30 to 2:30. We'll again close Broad Street from 4th to 7th Streets for that event, and just have a good time. But Friday and Saturday is our Christmas Open House weekend. Then first Friday in December, the North Pole Stroll. We're looking for anybody with a Santa suit to come out. We had about 150 people last year. Would like to come out. We'd like to double that. I'd like to make a picture on the steps of the Federal Building of a bunch of people dressed up in Santa suits. We'll stroll down Broad Street, light the Christmas tree. The mayor will throw the switch to light the Christmas tree for the beginning of the Christmas season, and then that Monday night will be the Kiwanis Christmas Parade after that. So just have a lot of fun going on. Snacks with Santa for the kids at Imagination Place on Saturday, the 12th of December. So for all of those people who say there is nothing happening in Gadsden, I mean, this is just what I'm involved in, and I can't tell you the number of things. Thursday night, we've got a fundraiser for at the back 40 for Asher May Collins, and then there's also Katrina Thursday night at Gadsden State Community College. There are just too many things. You can't do them all. So I'm appreciative of the support that we have, that y'all do give us, and we want people to know there are things to do in Gadsden, no matter what. So anytime we can ever help, give our office a call, 256-547-8696, or go to our website, downtowngadsden.com. We've got a calendar on there. GadsdenEvents.com is a great calendar to go to as well to see what's happening, and it's managed by the Cultural Arts Center. So, yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
On some of those events coming up, you might want to do like a billboard type thing and put it on 99.
We can do that. I'll get in touch with Mr. Brian Cox.
I did have one other question. Am I not going to be able to dunk it again this week?
Were you able to dunk it again last time?
Well, no.
Okay. Well, I guess, the Gadsden City High School, they're going to bring goals out there. Maybe we'll get them to lower the goal for you. How about that?
5-foot goal.
I wasn't really going to say anything, but I just want to make sure I've got this right.
Okay.
You said the mayor was going to play a game of horse, right?
Yes, sir.
So that really means he's not able to play real basketball. Is that correct?
That means that I'm going to play horse as well, and we've got Commissioner Carolyn Parker, we've got the District Attorney Jody Willoughby, if his baby is still not here or here sooner, but we've got a crowd of people who Councilman Cannon cannot play basketball. If we had to, I would think would be a good thing to say.
I actually got tired just putting the uniform on and my shoes on.
If you haven't seen our promo pictures, they are, the mayor looks like he knows what he's doing. So,
At least he can have 5 shots. When you play cow, you just have 3.
that's exactly
So horse,
right.
he's good
We
for 5.
won't be gone too quickly, let's put it
Okay.
that way. So, thank you very much. We hope everybody comes out.
Thank you.
Looks so deceiving, though.
They can be.
Okay, Chief Crane, I think you want to speak with us also.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've been meeting with some of the downtown merchants here recently and addressing some of their concerns, and they asked me to take this opportunity to remind the public some things we got going on downtown that they need to be aware of. Number one, parking downtown is for 2 hours, so there's a limit on that. Also, there is no smoking within 20 feet of any business's front door. And last but not least, please keep in mind, for the sake of safety, that a U-turn on Broad Street into a parking space is illegal. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chief. That brings us to City Clerk Ivan Nelson. She has something for us.
President Williams asked me to make an announcement in his absence today, and this is something that will be on Channel 19, WHNT News 19. They are teaming up with the Alabama Department of Labor, and they are going to have a jobs action line, and it's going to happen this Wednesday, November the 4th. It is going to take place from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And so you would tune in to WHNT News, and they would post the number that you're able to call once that show opens up.
Okay.
And the purpose of it is to tell the citizens about open positions throughout North Alabama, and it's toll-free. The number will be toll-free to call.
Thank you. That brings remarks by the mayor and the council. Councilwoman Toles, you'd like to go first?
I would just like to say I attended the open house for Span of Edgewater, and that's the Old City program, where it's a city program where they have at-risk youth, and it's over there housed at Gadsden High School. And I think it's a pretty good use of that building, and there's a lot of, they have about 18 students, but these are students that maybe they're at risk in high school. And so they are able to go there and they can work at their own pace. They go to Gadsden State and take the GED. So I think it's a good program, and it will be good for the public to even go and just check it out and see what it's about.
Thank you. Councilman Reed?
Yeah, I'd like to add to what Kay brought up about the Gadsden Edgewater Patriots Association luncheon tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Okay. We'll have a special this year. We don't have a speaker this year, Kay, as you well know. But the Gadsden State Community College Chorus is going to be there. And they'll be doing patriotic music, and I think we'll enjoy that immensely, really. An announcement about the closing of a street on Broad Street. I believe it's from Terminal at the Power Company all the way to Hood Avenue, will be closed from 12:30 until after the parade. So that's from the Power Company down to Ronnie Watkins Ford. Okay? That's all I have.
Councilman Eccles? Councilman Worthy?
Yes, yes, Mr. President. I'd just like to announce first Saturday, I was asked to make this announcement by Carver Revitalization Committee. It'll be first Saturday, it'll be 1 to 5 p.m. at the Carver Square. They will be giving away coats to people that need coats, and also they'll have things for the kids to do, different activities. So if you would, please come out, especially if you know someone need a coat or a jacket.
The coats to where, Thomas?
They're going to give you coats.
Where?
At first Saturday, which is Carver Square. It'll be Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m.
Okay, Councilman Billingsley?
Yes, also along with the veteran line, Gadsden City High School, if you're a veteran, they're going to have a morning brunch for you. It'll start at 8:15 till 9 o'clock. Then they'll have a veterans program at Gadsden City High School, probably from 9 till about 10. That's for all veterans. And also the reason we're having Veterans Day this week is because we don't want to conflict with Birmingham, who has the biggest Veterans Day parade in probably the whole country, right, Ben?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Biggest
Yes.
in the country. And so we've lost so many events to them, so we just have ours early, and that way we'll recognize the veterans of our neighborhood. Also, I had a District 5 meeting last night, and not a person showed up. Citizens have got to show up to these meetings and voice the things that you're interested in. And you can't just jump on council people down the street and all that stuff when they have council meetings. So, people, if you have problems, most of these people up here have council meetings. So you need to attend them and voice your concerns, because that's one of the ways that you get your voice heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor?
Yeah, I want to say Dr. Tolles and myself attended about 3 weeks ago the Litchfield PTO meeting. And we'd like to, they had food. I mean, it was really a nice event, and they were having a big car wash. I'd like to encourage all the parents for all the PTO meetings at whatever particular school that your children or grandchildren or whomever go to, you need to attend those. And they were having a car wash to raise some money, and we volunteered to match whatever they raised. And I tell you, they raised $1,000. Somebody did a lot of car washing, and we did match it. So I don't know if the check's in the mail, but no, but they'll be getting it. We send them out on Thursday. So anyway, but we're proud to do that, and we appreciate people working like that for their kids in school. And Mr. DeRamus and Mayor and Billy Harris, all were big workers over there. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to tell everybody I appreciate the treats on Wall Street, everybody that helped last Thursday night with it. It was a huge success. We had over 500 people come through. We cooked 1,100 hot dogs. Every one of those was given out. We had like 20 merchants down there face painting. All the kids, the weather turned out good that night, and police were down there. We had absolutely no problems. And I just want to appreciate everybody the way that carried themselves that night, and everyone that brought their children out. Just stay tuned for next year to be bigger and better. Do I have a motion to adjourn, please?
One more thing.
Okay.
I'd just like to say to Dr. Tolles and Billy, happy anniversary. This is our first year today on the city council.
I hadn't even thought about it.
Anything else?
Did we get a present?
I move to adjourn.
All right, we adjourned.